Hello and welcome to the Listening Post's unboxing channel on YouTube. Today I'm unboxing Bluesound's fascinating new soundbar, their Pulse Cinema Mini. This is the smaller of the two that Bluesound is releasing simultaneously into the market. This is a 2.1 soundbar designed to obviously designed to go with a television in both a desk and wall mount environment. But mainly it's for people that are already invested in the Bluesound ecosystem and want the same method of operation, the same app, the same quality of sound and the same streaming services throughout their home. In the age of, let's be honest, pretty pathetic soundbars that are widely available to try and reinforce the sound from a TV, this soundbar comes to market with an excellent music-first approach. Now, unlike the previous Pulse bar, it's up here, this has a cloth wrap and is designed to sit as a much smaller footprint, as you will see. Again, it's 2.1, but that disguises the way that Bluesound have done their DSP. There's actually 280 watts of power on board, with two woofers running about 65 watts each, and then a couple of mid-ranges and a couple of tweeters sharing about 35, 37, 38 watts per channel. The end result is the ability for this to, through its DSP, to create an immersive and dispersed sound. It decodes Atmos. It's got all of the Dolby processing on board, and so as far as a direct HDMI connection for audio return out of a television, it's a pretty much plug and play. Get all the control off the television's remote if you wish. Obviously pick up your phone and stream any content. It services all of the AirPlay 2, Tidal Connect, Spotify Connect, all of those types of things. This is everything we have grown to expect from the Bluesound ecosystem in a wonderful wall-mountable cinema soundbar. So, let's have a look. Okay, packaging, pretty boring. This is an outer freight carton. Obviously, Bluesound logo, Pulse Cinema Mini. A few compliance things associated with where to get the BluOS app from the App Store, and so on. It's Wi-Fi and cabled, of course, as well. Worth mentioning, all of Bluesound's products can also be utilised off an app from a PC or a Mac. That's kind of cool because particularly if you're using a laptop or something like that for your music controller, it's good to be able to download an app and actually control and play to these devices rather than having to exclusively use a phone. Anyway, the packaging, pretty straightforward. There's some scannable information on one end associated with model and serial number, and that of course is emulated. This has been opened by the distributor in New Zealand, power cord put in, but getting into the rest of it is pretty straightforward. Okay. Now, we see immediately, as I suspected, that this is an outer freight carton. We see the actual cool packaging on the inside. Let's get rid of this. Spin that back over. And you'll see a couple of things. Firstly, a convenient carry handle. The unit itself is designed, obviously, as an over-the-counter solution. It's extremely simple to set up. It's extremely simple to get the most out of. So realistically, it is an over-the-counter, easy-to-use product. The packaging features, obviously, the Bluesound logo and Pulse Cinema Mini, and that's all emulated everywhere, okay? Got a QR code and stuff on the ends, a bit of information. Opening this is pretty straightforward. It's got one of those sort of plasticky sellotapey pull tags, and then a couple of cardboard tags to be able to lift open the lid. Okay. Now at this point, roll it forward. Okay. And we've got the packaging inside. Just sort of tilt it around so you can kind of see. Okay. Push it forward. Now we've got the quick setup guide. It's very, very straightforward. Basically, where do you put the power cord, what do the indicator lights mean, where to put your network cable, where to put your HDMI. Easy. Now, like all of Bluesound's products, they've invested in 100% recycled and 100% recyclable packaging. So this is moulded cardboard. It's two big pieces. In there we see an accessory box, and on it is clear labelling as far as what we expect to see. This is the bit that a power cord was added to. So we open that up and we see a Bluesound branded HDMI cable. It's a couple of meters long, designed to get the audio return channel out of your television. Remember, it's an input via HDMI. There's no two-way picture or anything along those lines. We see a Bluesound branded network cable, again a couple of meters long, and a New Zealand figure 8 power cord. In the accessories there is an Allen key and a series of little plastic left and right indicated feet, and a couple of bolts associated with the bracketing. Now they're hex bolts, fits directly in. You'll see all of this in a moment. Okay? Right, tilting it forward and see the product itself. We can lift that out for a second, just for a second, and show some of the elaborate accessories that Bluesound have included free of charge. The first is its Bluesound mounting bracket, and it's worth mentioning, and please, as always, hang around for the photographs where you'll see some of these close-ups. This is foam on both sides, and it allows the unit to be clamped onto the wall. It's very, very straightforward. It clips straight in. The bolts go in the back, all of those things, if it's to be wall mounted. There's elaborate mounting points clearly indicated, easy to find timber if required, although the soundbar itself's not that heavy, so if you want to use toggles or jib mates or something, it's pretty straightforward. Obviously Bluesound logo and arrows to show which way up, and then the product clips in. Okay? Then we see what is really kind of cool, and again highlights the work that Bluesound have done to make this an easy over-the-counter solution. That's a cardboard template to easily show, that's its size, what it's going to look like, all of the mounting options and exactly where you need to put screws in the wall for the bracket and the soundbar itself. You can use a bit of blue tack or something like that, or just trace around it, and you've got all of the fixings marked out. Brilliant. And again, the investment to ensure that this can be so easily utilized by an end user is awesome. Then we see a far more comprehensive Bluesound manual, and there's information in the back associated with warranty and all sorts of things along those lines. The rest of the packaging, nice and easy, time to get rid of the box. Okay, now the product itself is protected in a cloth bag. Getting it out is really, really straightforward. We get to see the new look of this product for the first time. You can see, as I said, cloth finish. You can see a couple of things delineating its orientation. So if I hold it side on for a moment, the wrap as far as the cloth to a solid section, and then rolling it over the inputs and outputs. It's worth mentioning that the product is designed to either be mounted this way or this way in a tabletop environment. Now, remember, it can also be sort of upside down, so to speak, and it has the ability to identify which way it is up, whether it is on a desk, on a wall, or up the other way, depending on connections. And it will vary automatically, left, right, and the pseudo-center mode that it has, which is utterly brilliant. Again, you can see from its size it'll suit some of the smaller televisions perhaps, or a television in a smaller room where you don't necessarily need too much oomph. Now from a connectivity perspective, that's where they've really thought things out. I'm going to spin it around so we can see. Again, as always, hang around for the close-up photographs. Nonetheless, we have a traditional figure 8 power input, a USB, and that is for both providing 5 volts out, but also for basic media playback. These are the features we expected to see because it's part of kind of what Bluesound does. A small USB drive in here, and you can play your favourite music offline. Then we've got a LAN connection for network, an optical digital input for perhaps the audio out of a television, and then an HDMI clearly labelled ARC. Then we've got, as a bit of a bonus, a traditional analog input marked left and right. This would be ideal perhaps for a turntable or a CD player or something along those lines. Obviously if it's a turntable, it's got to have the phono preamp on board. And then it's got a cabled subwoofer output, enabling you to add a basic traditional subwoofer if required. But as part of the Bluesound ecosystem, the product will also allow for a wired or wireless network connection to the Bluesound subwoofer. That excellent, by the way, it's up there, Bluesound sub. That excellent slimline subwoofer can be incorporated with these soundbars or in any of their stereo environments. Nevertheless, this brilliant new product is wonderful from a feature set perspective. Again, it decodes all of the Dolby sound formats, so it doesn't matter if you're watching movies or listening to music, it'll do a brilliant job. It does pseudo heights, it does pseudo surround, all of those things, and you can add traditional Bluesound speakers to it if you require. Their Pulse M's or their Pulse Flexes can be added as rears in a 5.1 situation. Obviously this being the front 3, 2 rears and a wired or wireless subwoofer. So there we have it. Bluesound's brand new and awesome Bluesound Pulse Cinema Mini. Unboxed here at the Listening Post in Christchurch, New Zealand. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more, subscribe to our channel.